That was good. Glad we started with that. Another one.
Mm-hmm. And we're live.
Whoop whoop.
I hope I don't fuck this up. We got guest host number 2 episode for you. Not a guest host.
That's right. I'm doing exactly what I've always wanted to do and finally got Ian out of here.
Your master plan has succeeded.
It did, and I got it done under a year, which is, a little bit longer than I thought it would take.
I'm more afraid of fucking the because Ian does all the audio.
Oh, well, he can
the
send
podcast.
It to him, he can do that stuff.
And the podcast stuff, so I'm like looking at the computer and be like, all right, the thing's ticking, it's moving, it should be recording. Don't have the splitters. I don't have we don't even have headphones on.
No.
Don't know how it sounds.
There's probably some like weird thing creaking in here or something.
But what does Ian actually do?
Nothing.
He's
never prepared. I've never seen him come with questions. I've never seen him
He's gonna
flex. I don't know.
He's gonna love the intro. I didn't even do my flex. I'm flexing under the sweater. It's cold as hell.
Can't see.
Oh, it's not good when it's cold. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it hides it.
So we got special guest DJ. This is a special episode in FixFitness, guys. I don't even know what our podcast is called. That's a good sign. Doing
It's
well.
all right. It doesn't matter. We're gonna change the name of it now, but
we're gonna change the name of it. It says Ian's out.
Yeah.
Ian's only out for this episode, hopefully.
Well, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we can bring him back as a guest.
Gosh, this is so good. I think people should stop listening right about here.
Yeah, this is probably
you got enough laughs.
You got to put it.
You made your day a little
it's not
better.
going to get any better than this. That's for sure.
So this episode, we have big changes. DJ's been involved even within this FixFitness Guys podcast. You've been on, 4 times now?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. 4 times? So 3 times and 1 as a guest.
Yeah.
I don't know if we even count the Barbells for Boobs like promo one.
Yeah, that one.
So I don't know. Somewhere around there. Let's say it's 4 times.
Whatever.
Coming up on a year on this too.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I think we're going to try to get Bob and his mental vomit on.
Good.
For a 1 year. But today
1 year mental vomit.
We're talking about DJ. DJ's got big news for the public.
Yeah.
For the community, for every and anyone.
Yeah.
So what is that big
We're just
news?
just dropping transitions here. So yeah, I've been here at CrossFit Sun for 8 years, 9 years, 8 years as a coach. And throughout that time, I have been able to go to school and get my degree. And I've had kids, and we've bought a house. And we've done a lot of great things during that time.
That's such a big change for all of us, right? Like I look back and we've been around like the cross. I was looking at old like garage photos. We're technically as a community been around for 11 years.
Yeah.
Official, business, affiliated, all that stuff. Like coming up on 10 years.
Yeah.
So you've been here through pretty much most of it.
Yeah.
But not only that, like your life.
Well, yeah, my entire life has.
A lot of the communities, but your life, right? You came in, you didn't have any kids.
Right. Didn't have a house. Didn't have a degree.
Talk about those. Yeah, didn't have a degree. Talk about those 3 major changes, right? Finishing college.
Yeah.
Having 2 kids.
Yep.
Buying a house.
So I've been here and I have grown. I'm old now.
And the crazy thing is, and the cool thing is that you've grown not just like with everyone.
Right. Right. Everyone's been there the entire time, which is why it's important, I feel, to put this out, what we feel, to get this out there and get everyone involved in this change as well.
I mean, we try our best to do that, and I think that's where, this is important for us to have even with this podcast, be able to chat it out, instead of just put a video out and be,
right.
We wanted to make sure we have enough kind of concrete details and then have the big kind of tell-all.
Right.
And that's why we're here. So let them know. Where are you going? What's happening?
So my mother-in-law is retiring beginning of March, end of March. And when she does, that allows me to start working more hours and work full time. So before December, I knew that this was coming, and I didn't know what that would look like, whether I'd still, because I have a passion for coaching. I have a passion for helping people and doing that. And so it was either going to be some sort of like maybe part-time here, but then I'd have to figure out what to do with the other part of my day, which I didn't know. It would be like quitting here and like going and working behind a desk full-time, like 9 to 5, like getting into that grind. It'd be like maybe doing that and still coaching here an hour, but like either way, my capacity to be here the way that I have for the past 8 years was gonna change.
Yeah. I'll touch on that and the behind the scenes stuff. Like for the last, let's say about a good 3 years, as a business owner, as the coach here, head coach, we've had that talk a lot where it's like, hey, what are your plans for the future? Because in reality, what we do here, we're a mom and pop shop.
Right.
And if you look at the analogy, it's like, Andrew and I, we run this like mom and pop diner, but you can't expect the cook or the waitress or waiter to be here the rest of their life, especially when your life has changed so drastically with adding kids. And
right.
It's like, so every year we were kind of, it was there, but we didn't want to like acknowledge it, right?
Right.
It's like we knew
absolutely.
We were like, we're all in college and we love like we're all together in a fraternity or whatever, but this shit's gonna end sometime.
But I'm not gonna think about that,
yeah.
Which is why I had no idea, what this transition would look like. It was because I'd never thought of anything. It's because every time it gets closer, it's like, well, maybe that won't happen. Maybe she won't retire. Maybe
we got lucky on one front because every year she was supposed to retire. Stacey,
right, and they kept offering her more money, and she's like, well, I mean, I can work another year. So it kept prolonging the inevitable, basically.
Yeah, because it could have easily been, like, hey, I have to get a real job,
right?
In a sense, because also a mom and pop type of business, there's not a huge pie to like it's not like, hey,
right.
If you were to take we've offered like, hey, you could take a share in this company. It doesn't work like that. It's not a very big bargaining chip. Right. You could take a share of this cracker.
But that's not that was never the reason why we stuck around, right? Like,
but
I right, like it's been.
And I told you as well. It's like we already knew it was gonna come one of these days,
Yeah.
But it's just been. It's now we face the reality of it, and the transition has been kind of difficult. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think it's just that when you're so connected with the community, and a lot of CrossFitters listen to this, and a lot of our CrossFitters listen to this too. Yeah. It's uncharted territories. In any other normal job, you're moving on to different things, and it's expected. Right. Bygones be bygones. You could either leave happily.
It's not personal. I'm gonna put in a 2 weeks notice, and I'll see ya.
It is what it is.
But there's a lot of tangled lives.
Exactly.
It's not just a boss and employee. It's different. It's way different.
There's a lot more feelers,
Yes.
And it's like, what we went through too, it's just the coaching staff, the team, it's a tough pill to swallow, because even though we are so close, we're brothers and we've been through this for 8-9 years, but I think the difference was that having you go to a potential different gym.
Yeah.
When there's an opportunity, it's kind of, you can't help but to get a little bit butthurt, right?
Absolutely.
Right. It's like we've been through so many different, even coaches, and my brother was, owner for a while, things like that. We've, I think, been through the hurt of the split.
Right.
And then now if we...
Well, so what happened? What had happened was in December. NorCal CrossFit, or NC Fit, posted that they are opening a couple of locations down here. Okay. So they're opening one in Chula Vista, Sereno Valley, Encinitas, and Oceanside.
And Carmel. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. And actually down the street. So
next door to our.
They're actually opening here, right? But they're open. They were like, just we're hiring head coaches, full-time and part-time. And I'm like, well, that's it. That will allow me to continue to coach. It gives me the opportunity to work full-time. I potentially could work as a head coach. I could work my way up because I have a friend who works up at one in Northern California, and he started as a part-time, and he's now like being offered positions to like move his family. Like they're paying him to move.
So NC Fit, because a lot of people that have asked in the community, because they're like, what's that? So NC Fit, Jason Kalipa was a CrossFit Games champ, and then he was really successful in the business of CrossFit. Not only opened a gym, but then he created a brand. So if you think about CrossFit, it's it's not a franchise, so it's not cookie cutter. It's an affiliation. And what you do is they allow you to use the name, and you do whatever the hell you want with it. So it's mom and pop. Jason Kalipa didn't go that route. He went the complete opposite. He essentially took like the corporate mindset to train the people to have the same kind of branding, the same type of equipment and look, and the same type of space he's looking for. And he opened a ton of NC Fit gyms all over. So he essentially
they got a ton up north.
CrossFit into like Starbucks type of thing. Still keeping the CrossFit approach methodology. I think he just rebranded it and worked. And he has corporate accounts with banks and whatever else. So
the HGST, which became Western Digital, or either way around, like they have a lot of.
And for him to be expanding all down here, it's a good. I mean, from the.
Well, they're in Asia and Cabo, so they have spots.
That's what I'm saying. Like the corporate approach that he's taking CrossFit is for him. I mean, it seems like he's doing well, so he's opening. So that's what NC Fit is. It's based off of CrossFit in terms of where he started. Champion. Owning affiliate to now making
growing to this
fucking monstrosity.
Huge.
Okay.
So basically it allowed, and so also doing that like is going a corporate route essentially. Like if I get a full-time position there, then I don't have to look for any other job to do part-time. I am full-time working as a CrossFit coach, whatever that would look like. So I have turned in an application, and we have spent the last 2 months trying to figure out how to do this delicately. Maybe make this like a clean, because it's not like trying to split up.
Well, it's easier if you would like before in most cases, if anyone's owned a gym or was a coach somewhere or whatever, been part of a community, it's easier to kind of just cut ties and leave. Because it's always easier just to break up and leave. Doesn't mean it's the like emotionally or relationship wise the right thing to do, but it's fucking way easier. I can walk away from the situation and deal with the consequences later in terms of like
time will heal all wounds, whatever.
Exactly.
But that's not what I wanted, because it's not, and I don't feel like that's who we are.
And that's kind of where the problems lied, I think, because like in terms of we were trying to do this delicately and not hurt each other's feelings. And due to that fact, like no one had any, which is very weird because in a split, no one has malicious intent. Not one person is trying to do harm to the other. But with that said, it's a lot of like the unknown. Even for the community, a lot of the confusion or the hurt or the whatever you call it. It's when it's essentially still somewhat of a breakup. With the community for 8 years. Your coaching relationship with the members. Even the relationship with the staff and us, so I think that's where it was. We try to do it delicately.
I don't think it was,
but I don't think you can. To a certain degree, there will be those hard conversations and moments, and we've had a ton of those behind the scene.
I think a lot of the problem too was that like I didn't know. I had just turned in an application, and I hadn't heard, okay, you're hired. Like there wasn't anything like that, or like, hey, we're looking at your application. It's been 2 months of not knowing what's going on with me. So as we're like, as I tell you, like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know when I'm leaving, whatever. You also have to then somehow move forward, but not move forward while I'm still here and cover your bases. But I'm still working, but I don't. I'm not ready to do it.
Ton of problems.
So there's a lot of issues going on with that.
It's
which just didn't make things easier.
It was not easy because of the situation, right? Because when you told us we had to, for me, to keep the community going, to keep the business going, since you're such a big part of the framework here, the fabric of
Right.
keeping this place alive. You're like, we viewed you as pretty much had the hats of like, there's 3 or 4 people running the ship.
Yep.
And if we take away one of the main people of us 4, it's like, holy shit, how do we keep this place afloat?
Right.
But the thing is that's tricky is that when we're trying to move forward, but then we can't fully move forward because
Right.
you're still kind of here, but not know
Right.
if you're going or not. You can
Right.
leave next week,
Right.
since January 1st, or you can leave in 3 months. It created a lot of emotional drama or issue.
Yes.
Because we're like, we have to move forward, but then the changes are hard,
Right.
but we kind of can't move forward because you're
Right.
still here, but
Right.
you're kind of still
But you
not
also
leaving.
you also don't want to move forward and be like, okay, well, you're gone.
Yeah, no, that's the easy part, right?
The same way that like you don't want to cut ties. The same way that I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
2 weeks, I'm out. You guys don't want to be like, all right, well, you're done now. And
Yeah,
then move on.
that's where
So
it's
it's like-
uncharted territories.
Right.
Usually, if you're trying to find a different job, it's real easy to be like, well, good luck, safe
See you
travels.
later. Yep.
Whatever you will support you, but then now we like can start to move on.
Yeah.
And so that's been the tricky part is how does one kind of keep the community relationship and then the family friends relationship
Yeah.
during a transition like this, because there is, in some degree, some business involved.
Absolutely.
We have to move forward. We have to, start to look for more help and train more coaches and redo the schedule.
Yep.
But at the same time, you're here, but you're not here.
Right.
It's really weird.
Yep. So last week, the NC Fit contacted me, and we did like a little interview, and that's been all the contact I've had so far. But I got a lot of information out of them during that time. They're planning on opening a couple of spots down here within 6 to 8 weeks. So we now have sort of a timeline. We also know now that they're like
And they contacted you, so which is better
interested
than
because they
unknown.
contacted me. So
And it seems less sketchy from the member's perspective,
Right.
Because it's like when we had to give people a heads up because you could have left anytime,
right,
but then the message was vague because we didn't have any
right,
more info on it.
right,
So I can see how that creates a little bit of extra drama
Right.
within the community because it's like, hey, DJ's all of a sudden leaving.
yep,
Where's he going? He
Don't
doesn't
know.
know. And
Don't
then
know yet.
we've talked about behind the scenes, like it sucks for the community because and to keep the relationship and rapport, right?
right,
The morale up when it's so vague. Because
Right.
then I can only imagine the thoughts that go through their heads.
right.
Even for us, we weren't really sure, but they don't know the full.
They don't know anything.
So then, therefore, like, what is it? What did he do?
Right.
Did he embezzle money, or like who knows, right?
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Right.
Did they get in a fist fight over something, and
Mhm.
they can't recoup, or who's not talking? Like, so now that there's
Yeah.
at least like they
a little bit of
contacted you,
yeah. There's a little bit of
because
bit of
to be
concrete.
honest, we didn't know.
Right.
On all parties, so that's why we had to give those answers because it was like
Right.
when
Well, and there
people
was-
ask me, "What's DJ doing?"
Right.
Stacy's retiring. He needs to look for a full-time job.
Right. Which
I
also,
don't know.
I was also doing that because as you guys were moving forward to like work or be a place that would function without me, right? Without me being
Mhm.
like one of the pillars, like I still hadn't heard anything. So it's like, okay, well, if this NC Fit thing doesn't come through, well, what am I going to do? Well, I can go back to school. Well, I could do, I could go maybe part-time here and like
But it sounds like
but
backpedaling,
right.
right?
It's like okay, I'll go look for a job and do something else, like
then people will
Right.
start to think like, well, then why aren't you just staying here?
right.
And then
Right.
they don't understand.
Not knowing that, like,
yeah.
I literally put all my eggs into one basket and was just like, this is the thing that's going to work.
And I'll bring it up. I had many of conversations because DJ and I are super close, and I view you as a brother, but I also mentored you since day one, and I
Yeah.
still have that mindset, like you're my little brother type of thing, my big little brother.
Yeah.
But it's like I told him like things are moving and changing here. Shouldn't you try and not have all your eggs in one basket?
Yeah.
I was like, reach out to other,
Yeah.
So you literally were all in.
No,
even
I'm
though
all-
I
yeah.
was telling you like, hey man,
Nope.
like maybe you should look and dabble, send
Yeah.
out a couple feelers, call a couple different gyms
Yeah.
that I thought were doing well that could probably facilitate more of that corporate lifestyle. And
Yeah.
you're like, this is what I
Nope,
do.
this is what I do. We go all in on one, and then if that doesn't work, we'll figure something else out.
That's it.
That's my life. But so yeah, that's kind of where we're at. So it's been tricky, but
Emotionally taxing.
emotionally draining. Yeah, emotionally taxing. But moving forward feels much better.
Yeah, and I think it's a natural reaction, like a natural emotional kind of path that we have to take. You know, it's just like you're gonna go through the shock and then the sadness, and then everyone's gonna have to go through the point of anger too. Like,
Yeah.
man, I can't believe he's leaving us, or I
Right.
can't believe he's doing that. I mean, we went through, and then you go back to the, you just go up and down the roller
Right.
coaster. But now with more kind of concrete details and
Maybe a potential date.
and even for us with all the schedule changes, it's kind of like a big adjustment for all of us.
Yeah.
It is a big adjustment in terms of scheduling, coaching, the community, everything, the way it's ran. You get such a big part of like this programming and running classes all in the AM.
Events that we run
events.
together. I mean, it's yeah.
That's where I've been at as, I guess the business owner side of things, where it's been tough on that front, and on top of that, dealing with the emotional side of it, But now we get to move forward. We've had a lot of great talks with the team, and they weren't easy.
No.
We had to go through a lot of
Yeah.
kind of like therapy sessions
Yep.
almost. But it was worth it, because if we didn't care, if no one cared, if you didn't care about the community, if you didn't care about us, then there'd be no, like, why invest so much time into all this like hurt,
Right.
But it's all good now. Time to kind of move on, because March is coming, and
Yep.
like Leslie said before, like everyone's replaceable, and I believe the community and our values, or one of our whatever, I don't know, mission statements or whatever we call it, is the community always comes first.
Right.
So that's what we always try to focus on. Not one person's needs greater than the community as a whole.
Yep.
And in reality, that's how we've been moving forward.
Right.
We just definitely want to not lose the 8 years that we've all had, and everyone's intertwined. So we don't want to make it a bad split.
Right. So we're trying to make this transition less of almost like becoming like just a regular person. Like I'm no longer like the coach who does programming and everything else and like helps run events and all that stuff. Like I'm just another member of this community who helps out. I'm here to work out.
Yeah, community leader, as we call it.
Yeah.
You don't just, you could come in and help when you can.
Yep.
And again, moving forward, it's, your role already greatly
has
shifted here, because we wanted to make sure.
And we'll continue to shift.
We're ready to go if you were to get a call, like,
Yeah.
first, second week of January even.
Yeah.
So we're fully functioning now. And then with just the schedule change, I think it's still nice that you're, still kind of coaching a class.
Yeah.
And that we have you coaching in March, 7 a.m. for now. Because one, you could become a little earlier to work out at 6.
Yep.
Those, your people. It makes it easier for you to come in maybe at 5 too sometimes, to all those people. Stay a little after for the 9.
Yep.
So it's a good hour to kind of come in when you can, because you can't commit really to any other hours, because who knows what's the interning look like or the hiring process looks like at NC Fit. Because no matter where they hire you, I'm pretty sure even if it's corporate, 7 to 8 is probably not the hours they want you there in terms of corporate.
Yeah, it should be okay.
So it's going to be a interesting transition, to say the least, but our goal is to not make similar life issues where we're like, when people want to stay together, but then, working as a business or being partners or family business, so to speak, is kind of like it's an easy trap to have it all just blow up. Right. And then all the years just kind of get thrown away, And
very easy to take it personally and be like, all right, well then, fuck you.
It's since we've been through so much of this emotional drama, it's like it's easier to hold on to a grudge, because it justifies. Right. It's a wall that we put up so we don't have to deal with the emotions.
You justify it, and then you don't have to deal with it.
Exactly. It's like, fuck that guy. He's leaving us, but we don't want to go that route. No. So, moving forward, it's going to be good. We want to continue to build the relationship in terms of, everything we do here and everything we're doing with FixFit as well.
Yep.
So it's just all of the above. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 8 years.
Yep. Yep. Seen a lot of these transitions happen.
10-year anniversary for CFS is in April.
Yep. It's gonna be something.
So it's
gonna fiesta.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I mean, that's the idea, right? In the ideal world, that this is March is gonna be like a party in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, because you're still here for 7,
leading up to it,
and with you not having a full-time gig yet, this is the time. It's like the summer before you start interning. Like you just got out of college.
Yep.
This is the summer before you start interning, and then you're being an adult and you're fucked.
Still have a lot of free time on my hands.
Exactly. You're still here, which is a good place.
A lot of free time on my hands.
Yeah, but when you get into a real corporate type of setting, I'm pretty sure
it's going to change a little bit.
It's going to change, and then the things that you want to do here, maybe come to more events or show up more classes.
Right.
In reality, it's not going to happen in terms of the volume or the
frequency. The frequency of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're going to have to start if you're starting to build the community and rapport on that front. It's just like you're going to be split. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I mean, I still think it's worth it. If nothing else, it's at least worth it to try.
Yeah.
And not just be like, okay, well, peace.
Yeah, and that's where we're at. We're like, is this going to be perfect transition and move on where you're going to just be just as connected? We don't know.
Right.
But we're going to try.
Yep.
And hopefully the community and everyone else continues to try as well. And then we're going to see if we can kind of fix that kind of common issue that everyone has when they kind of split a relationship, We want everything to be smooth as possible. To hold on to the 8 years.
Yeah.
It's also kind of fair that it's like we can't expect things to stay the same.
Yeah.
Like the relationship's not going to be the same as when you had no kids and working out. We're all doing events and doing comps together.
All day.
Yeah, we get to do 4 hours of extra weightlifting or powerlifting or any type of program.
Yeah.
It's not like that. We've all kind of matured and grown.
Yeah.
And it's, like our last podcast here, that's the natural process. Like, even with the mindset of what optimal fitness or what we're focusing on with the 3 pillars, it's not just physical anymore. It's not PRs. It's the social health. It's the mental health.
Yeah.
Things will constantly evolve, and that's just how it's going to be. So. Yeah.
Yeah, just constantly moving forward. 1 foot in front of the other.
What do you want to say anything to like the people that want to reach out? Because our community is vast.
Absolutely.
We have people that stop by the gym and they come here for a month or 2, like a Tracy, and there's people that drop in and they're kind of fam. This is gonna go out and it's gonna be kind of a shock because it's people that here for sure are gonna.
Hopefully it's not as shocking as the first one that went out because that was shock and confusion. Hopefully this clears the air a little bit and everyone kind of can be like, oh, okay. Like, let me see.
I think a big deal is like if we didn't know, because like there's so much that on my plate to be open and honest that you're essentially saying I have to go.
Yeah.
Then I have to pick up all these pieces and like I'm in fucking nonstop work mode.
Right.
And then there's the emotional side of it too. So like if you and I aren't good, they know us. Everyone knows us.
Right.
So therefore like
it's not very hard to hide.
It's not. Yeah.
I mean, it is very hard for me to hide. Like.
And we hide it with work though. You know what
I
mean? So they know that things aren't good. But now at least we can tell them that things are hard in transition, but everything is good now. So I think that's important because then they'll know that it's like we've always been. It's the united front. But it doesn't mean it's fucking rainbows and sunshine the whole time.
Right.
It's like any relationship, you're gonna have ups and downs.
Yep.
But I think we're coming out of the down phase and going up.
I hope.
So do you want people to contact you or message you?
Yeah, I mean, if you guys,
it could be any and everyone listening that has a
anybody that has a question. If you have questions about relationships, you can message me. I'll start a
DJ love line.
Send it in. I mean, you can message me on like you can text me or you can see me in the gym. I'm here in the mornings. I'll be here at 7 a.m. all of March. You can message me on Facebook. You can message me on Instagram at CrossFit_Deej or FixFitDeej. One of those gets operated more often than the other.
If you don't know how to find me, then you probably you're probably not listening at this point.
If you don't know,
you're probably
if you need to say something to me, you know how to contact me. Like that's not a problem.
For our lives, it's pretty easy to find us because we're in here. We're at CrossFit Sun right now. We're in here all the time. We have not moved.
No.
We're like the furniture by this point.
Yes, we are here all the time.
So that's what's going to happen. DJ is going to coach 7 a.m. in March.
Yep.
And
8 a.m. Saturday?
8 a.m. Saturday, yeah, that's there too for now. So we'll see how these things go in March. And we'll go a week at a time, month at a time, because really CFS is going to continue to keep kicking, and that's what we're always fighting for, because it's the community that matters.
Yep.
You know, it's not myself or Andrea or Leslie or the coaches or, you know, DJ. It's really trying to keep the place functioning and operational. And I think the view is, I don't even view this as a gym anymore. It's more like a community center.
Yeah.
And you know, through that's why we have the new approach. It's like community health.
Yes.
People come in here for, you know, to improve their physical health, their social health, their mental health, you know, and with that too, being a community center, it's pretty much volunteer based. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like any small mom and pop business, it's like that. Yeah, everyone gets a paycheck, let's say. Some don't because they're just here to help, but it's nothing. We don't do that because of that.
Right.
Because if we did, we're idiots.
Right.
We do the math and the hours per amount of money you make. It's not. It's labor of love.
No.
Labor of love.
Right.
And so with that said, though, you know, even as involved as DJ was this whole time, for us to have the outlook and to prepare, like, if we want CFS to, which we do, to continue to go forever, another 10 years, there has to be that mindset of the progression of being a CrossFitter or CrossFit Sun person, you know, member. So it's like you come in, you work out, you have fun, and then after a while, there are ways to continue to give back and help within this community center. It's like you got a lot out of it.
Right.
Then, therefore, after a while, you've gotten what you needed to get out of it, but then you love the community, you want to give back. You don't want to, like, just quit because you're as fit as you can be.
Right.
So there are ways to help, and we're going to continue to work on that. So you could contact us. And it used to be very involved, as in, like, do you want to coach or not?
Right.
But I think there's, like, tiers of helping, right? Like, I use the church analogy, for example. It's like people can volunteer in so many different ways.
Yes.
You don't have to be a pastor. You can volunteer and start a life group, which we already see. Like, there's people doing board game night. Mm-hmm. People doing, like, a hiking
and even
thing.
like when we think back to, like, what we do with events, right? It's not like just you, me, and Leslie and Andrea that are, like, running those events.
No, it's the committee of volunteers every year.
People volunteer to help us build it. People volunteer to help us keep, you know, people motivated while we're fundraising, and, you know, get people to sign up and everything, you know, get baskets and stuff together. So it's a whole, you know, if you're interested in being a part of this community, it gives
in a different way too, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's different levels of helping, but there's, like, don't just think you have to come in and coaching is
not the only option
to help and give back.
Right.
You know, you know, I'm trying to kind of create a formula where there's at least different, like, ways to give back or help.
And stuff. Yeah.
In terms of, like, again, using the church analogy, you could start a life group. You could be part of one. You could volunteer as, like, the hospitality or the welcoming thing. You know, that's what a lot of members already do. People that are new that come in. Right. There's a lot of these veteran members that naturally just say, "Hi, how's it going? I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you modify." Like, they already take on these roles. Yeah. So it's nice to know that there's a way to continue to dabble in that at CFS. Yeah. So that we are a little more prepared if, you know, anything happens, or if I can't be here, if Leslie can't be here, you can't be here, Patty, Ernest, Dan, Jay, Albert, you know, like, if all the coaches aren't here, like, I still want the community to always be around. Yeah. So let us know if you guys are interested in volunteering to any degree. Yeah. Because there's many ways to kind of help and give back. Yes, there is. And that really gives us, it kind of protects the community. Just like what we're trying to do here is to protect the relationship. Right. To keep it going. we want to make sure that CFS is going to keep going for as long as it can.
Hope so.
Hope so. All right. Ask us any questions. We're
Please.
an open book.
Please, yes.
As always. Sorry that when you asked this before, our book was in a different language.
In a different, yeah. Not translated
yet.
properly. We got put back in the wrong section.
We didn't know the ending or the
the
basis of the story, so we're just going off of that. So thanks for always
Opened it up and
supporting.
it was just hollow in the middle.
Yeah, I think it was a shock across
Yeah.
all parties. So we're here now, and thanks for giving us this time for the podcast.
Yeah.
You know, it's a special topic, and I think it's important.
Sensitive, it can be sensitive.
And people have to know,
But-
whether in CFS or our extended CrossFit Sun and FixFit family.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the other thing that I did is I got Ian off this podcast, so this is actually what I'm going to start doing full time.
Yeah, great. You go to even
Look for
lower
it. It's
pay.
going to be.
Now it's definitely.
I'm going to start using like the Joe Rogan model. We're going to put out 9 hours every day for everyone to do. It's just content, right?
That'd
be great.
That's intense. We're like at 36 minutes, and I think we've been here for 4 hours
All right, we
already.
have 5 more hours to go. Here we go. Well, it all started.
All right, closing it
Oh,
out.
play my music. Hit my music. Do you know how to do that?
I do
That's
not.
That's an Ian job.